Hello and welcome. My name is Peter Krzyzak. Today I'm going to teach you how to create a powerful e-commerce website using WordPress and WooCommerce and how to start selling in under 1 hour. To get through this tutorial, you will need a few things. 1, you will need a basic understanding of WordPress. 2, you will need to have WordPress already installed on your web host. And 3, you will need a little bit of money because we are going to try to recreate what I have here on my own website and some functionality that Amazon has. So yes, it is going to take some creative thinking and some money to get this done. So let's jump straight in. Here is our basic WordPress install. It's super fresh, nothing's on it, and it is 2015, so we are going to be using the latest tools available to us right now. To help us get started, we need 2 things. 1, a quality theme, and 2, WooCommerce. Thankfully, WooCommerce by itself is free, and the quality theme will cost us around $50. We're going to use a theme called Flatsome, so let's get that first. We can find the Flatsome theme on themeforest.net. Once we go there, we can simply type in Flatsome, search for it, and the theme that comes up is the Flat Responsive WooCommerce theme. It's for $58, and it's really well rated, and it's one of the reasons we're using it. To buy the theme, all you would have to do is go to this page, click Buy Now, and if you don't preload the funds into your Envato Marketplace account, there is an extra $2 surcharge, and that's all right, it's only $2. So total, it's gonna run you probably $60 to get this really high quality theme. And when they say, yes, the #1 best-selling WooCommerce theme, it really is. So get it, download it, and once you have bought it, you can go to your download section, and in my case, it's on page 2, and click download. A little menu pops up, and what you want to click is download all files and documentation, not just the WordPress installable file only. The reason you want to download all files and documentation is once you click this one, you download the documentation, the extra graphic stuff, including the WordPress theme, the Flatsome theme, and its child theme. We want both. If you click the install WordPress only file, well, that only gets you the WordPress main theme file. That's not the one we want. We want the main theme and the child theme. So here's why you want to download all files. I've already downloaded it here, and you can see here's the zip file. Once I extract it, you get a folder called Flatsome Main. Inside of that, we'll have the assets, and you can have some of the fonts you can play with and all those fun things, icons directly that you can get and use, all in Photoshop formats and textures. That's one reason. For me, the biggest reason is once we click on theme files, we have the main file and the child theme. So here we need a quick explanation. The main theme is the core Flatsome theme. It's where you get all the functionality, all the designs, and all those fun things. The child theme basically uses the main theme, but you can make any and all changes to the Flatsome design in the child theme, and it won't affect the core functionality unless you override it specifically here. And in that case, you can update Flatsome as much as you want to newer versions, which always come out, and that won't be affected by your changes, your designs, and your updates, because all the changes were done to the child theme, which uses the core files. That's why you want to use both the main and the child theme. So to install this, we need to install the main theme first. Don't activate it yet, then install the child theme and activate that. Installing this is pretty simple. Simply go to Appearance, Themes, click Add New, and as I said, we have to first install the main theme. Once that's installed, we have to go back to the themes page, add new, and now upload the child theme. And this is the theme that we're going to be activating. So now we click activate. Great, it's activated. So now we have to install the required plugins that make this theme really work. Thankfully, they added a very handy notice up top that says, hey, here's what you need to install. So we click begin installing plugins. We select all of them. Use the little drop down here, click that says install, click apply. Might take a little while. Once it's installed, we go back to the required plugins installer, select activate, select all of them, and we click apply. Great. Now all the main things are installed. We can return to the dashboard. And we're presented with several messages. This is one thing I don't like about WordPress and plugins. They kind of overwrite where you first go, so that's all right. This is the Ninja forms. Hey, you installed a brand new version, blah, blah. We can skip that. Go to the home dashboard, and up top, we see Welcome to WooCommerce. All right, so this is important. We have to first click Install WooCommerce Pages. What this does is it installs for us the pages that WooCommerce needs to work, such as the shop page, the checkout page, the my account page, and the cart page, at least those basic things and a few more. Now that Flatsome's installed and the required plugins, such as WooCommerce, let's check out what our basic website looks like. Great, this is our basic website now. It's using the Flatsome theme. It looks already better than what we had before. Now we have to set menus, sidebars, we have to get the account stuff working, and we also have to set up the backend where we set how we're going to get paid, what are the taxes, if any, shipping, and all those fun things. So you might be thinking, well, yeah, okay, this is good enough for now. I just need to accept payments right now. So let's actually jump in and set up payments first, and then I'm going to show you how to set up the rest of the website. The easiest way to start accepting payments is to use the built-in WooCommerce PayPal functionality. If we go to WooCommerce settings and checkout and scroll all the way down, we'll see that PayPal Standard is enabled by default. PayPal Standard is one of the free, at least free on the front end, ways to accept money via PayPal. And if you have a PayPal account, business or regular, you can already use this. All you would need to do is enter your PayPal email address here, at least the one you can accept money through, and that's it. So let's enter that here. And all we do is scroll down, click Save. And now we officially can accept PayPal payments on our website. That's it. There are other options that we can set, but for all intents and purposes here, we don't need to set anything else. What we do want to do though, is disable the other options that are enabled by default, check payment and direct bank transfer. Since we generally don't want people paying by check, because that means money later, and bank transfers are just always a little bit weird, so we're going to disable both of those and leave PayPal for now. If you don't want to or can't use PayPal Standard, you have many other options available, as WooThemes provides many payment gateway options. So if you go to woothemes.com, then click on WooCommerce extensions, and then click on payment gateways, you'll see a whole slew, a plethora of payment gateways available, some for free, some are paid. We, for example, use the Stripe plugin because we use Stripe as our primary gateway. But you're also able to use Amazon Payments, PayPal Express. There's also First Data, Level Up, Authorize.net. There's a whole lot of them. And according to this, there are currently 5 pages and 118 different extensions available. There's many based in the USA, some international. So check out what you need and go with that one if that's what you need. Also, buying these are very simple. If we, for example, want to buy the Authorize.net one, we can click on it and then add to cart, go through the checkout process, download it, and then upload it as a plugin to our website. It is super easy. After that, all you would have to do is add your Authorize.net or whatever other payment gateway you're using, credentials, and off you go. Because I like Stripe, I am going to use this in this demo as well. So we're going to have 2 payment gateways, PayPal Standard and Stripe. Like I said, installing this stuff is pretty easy. All I have to do is find the plugin that I downloaded, which I have in my downloads folder. Click install. Activate it. And then what I have to do is I have to go into the WooCommerce settings, checkout, and configure and enable Stripe. Enabling Stripe is pretty easy. All I have to do is click Enable Stripe, disable test mode, enter the secret and the publishable key, and then click Save. I've gone ahead and copied and pasted my live keys in here already. I've switched back to the PayPal screen to show you something interesting. Because we are now going to be accepting payments directly on our website, as opposed to using PayPal, which when somebody uses PayPal, they click checkout using PayPal, and it takes them to PayPal's website, and then the payments are processed on paypal.com through PayPal, and then only do they get taken back to your website. Since that happens in PayPal, that you don't need an SSL certificate. But since we're now going to be using Stripe or any other payment gateway where we accept payments directly on our website, meaning somebody's going to enter their credit card number and all those things directly on our website, we will need to, one, enable Force SSL in WordPress, which I'll show you how to do, and we will need a valid SSL certificate from your web host. A SSL certificate can range in price anywhere between like $25 and up and up and up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on what you're selling and how much you're selling. But generally, it'll run you around $50 per year starting out. So while we're here, let's clean up the backend a bit so it's easier to get through and we don't have all these messages in our face. This bottom one asks, hey, do you want WooCommerce to more or less track what you're doing? Nah, we generally don't. So we just click do not bother me again. And we want to enable secure checkout. So we're just going to click right here. We're going to click Force SSL. Save changes. You might also want to enable HTTP once somebody leaves checkout. Basically, once after they're done checking out, they get taken back to the normal website. We generally allow that and set that because we don't want everybody to always be using SSL for just general browsing purposes, at least not on the small websites. The last thing to do is to install the WooThemes Updater plugin, as it makes life easier just to keeping updated with all your plugins, themes that you get from WooCommerce and WooThemes. So all we then have to do after it's installed is click and activate our product licenses. When we click that, we can enter, in our case, the WooCommerce Stripe Gateway, enter my license key here, click activate products, and it'll automatically update and be updatable through the regular old update screen, which it currently won't be, since if we didn't activate the license here. Obviously, I'm not going to show you my license keys, so let's jump straight into configuring the front end, as technically WooCommerce is already ready to start selling stuff through your website. Well, we need to make it look presentable and add some products. So let's configure the general design first, and then the home page, and then the rest of the pages. Setting all that up is done from the back end. So we're going to go to Appearance, Theme Options. Thankfully, Flatsome has a lot of very easy to use options that we can configure everything and get going, especially in this getting done in under an hour tutorial. We're going to get through the essentials to make this site very powerful and very, very presentable. If you'd love to know more, you can check out my other Flatsome videos that include the basics, going over through all of this, and even the advanced coaching course where we dive really deep into how to create a powerful website like this. But in our case, let's get through the essentials, and we're going to start with the header, the general colors, and menus. Starting out, we want to add a logo. If you don't have a logo, I highly recommend you get one made. Or if you don't upload a logo here, it is going to use the text logo, which is the name of your website. So this is just a text. That is the name of my website currently. We'll change that very shortly, of course. But I want to upload a logo since we're trying to recreate our site. And I've already uploaded this file here to make things simpler for us. But this uses the media library. So if you wanted to upload a brand new one, you'd simply go to Upload Files, click Select Files, upload your logo, and there you go. In my case, this is a rather large image, but that's all right. So we click Select, and it's there. Remember to click Save Changes, Save Always, and Save Often. And then after we get the logo, we want to pick a layout. Here, the basic options are we want full width, boxed, or really, really, really boxed. Generally, you'll want to go with either this middle one or the full width. The general style of really high-end websites is this one right here. Now remember, what we're trying to recreate is a modern, high-end, powerful website. That means that we want happy, light colors. So we are going to stick with the defaults that are here because we want a white background, which is easy to read, easy to understand. We're going to leave the default text color, which is an off black color. Also easy to read, but not too forward. We can change that later though. And we're not going to have a background because, again, modern, simple, and efficient, and high-end. From here, we want to go to the header area. And one of the great things about Flatsome is that it gives us some header presets so we can see visually what's going to go on. as we're trying to recreate our store website and something similar to Amazon. Amazon would be more like this, but we're going to go with our store website instead. We're going to use this one where there's a logo in the middle, menu on the left, and account stuff on the right, including a top bar. So for this, all we have to do is click on the design we want, click OK. It automatically updates the settings for us. And so let's check out how our website looks right now. All right, so nothing's really changed except now our menu's on the left, our itty bitty logo is here, and the menu and the account stuff on the right. So we have to increase the size of our logo. In Flatsome, that's pretty easy. It's over here in the header area. Under the presets, we can change the header height. So change the height to, let's say, something around 200 pixels. 200. Click Save. And let's see how it looks. Looks better already. You might be thinking, hey, wait a minute, that logo just doesn't look right. It's way too big over there. And you'd be right. That's because the logo file we have, as you can see here, is really, really big. And we're going to need to crop that. So I'm simply going to crop this in Photoshop so it's more or less just hugging the outline of our logo. And then I'm going to re-upload that. All right, going back to the logo and icons. I'm going to click Remove, Upload a brand new one. Select Files. I put it in the Downloads folder. So there it is. Sweet. As you can see, it's really, really cropped. Save changes. And let's see how this looks now. Well, now our file is the correct size, but the header's still too big, so let's shrink the header a bit. Let's go to around 150. Good enough. Sweet. This is looking pretty darn good. Next, let's set the general colors. And as you can see on our store site, the general overriding color is red. So we're going to change to a nice dark red here, a nice little pink up top, and a nice deep red, which is also the same color that you can see in the menu here. For colors, we're going to go to the styles and colors, which is pretty simple. The primary color is the main overriding color throughout your website. So for us, let's pick the default red. That's a pretty good color to start with. Secondary color is used, as it says, for add to buttons, checkout buttons, reviews, and stuff like that. For this, I don't want any deep red like that, and I personally am kind of partial to yellow for those kinds of things. So I'm going to make this a nice little yellow. And the success color is the, yes, we did something right, which we're going to leave at green because green is good. The new bubble color, we're going to change also to red because like, hey, new, pay attention. And same thing for the sale bubble. If you have different colors for your brand, change these to whatever you need them to be. For example, actually, let's also change the default link color to red because we like red. I think you can see a theme working here. And the same thing for the checkout buttons, so it's consistent. You can definitely see what's going on here. We're going with a nice red tone, and you can change this to anything you want to be. Previous client of mine had a similar-ish color scheme, but for their sale bubbles, they used purple. For their new ones, they used yellow. That's what they wanted. The star reviews were not red. For them, they were yellow. So actually, let's do yellow as well, just for fun. Nice deep yellow. Sweet. Drop down menu border, we want to leave that alone. And well, what that is would be stuff like this. If it drops down, what is that color over there? Let's leave that the way it is for now and see how it all flows through our general design and theme. So we've made these color changes. Let's click Save, and let's check out our new styles. Ooh, nice deep colors. So the top menu bar changed. This is still that, well, because we didn't add any menu. That changed properly. This is our secondary color, great. But as you can see, this didn't change. Well, because the footer has its own controls. Now, here's one thing you should know. If you want to change the top bar color to be something other than your primary color, well, we can. Let me show you how to do just that. We go back straight into header and scroll all the way down to the top bar background color. If we don't do anything, it's going to use the primary color. So since we want a nice soft pink color, let's make that a little bit like that. Pink. That looks good enough, right? Click Save. Ta-da! This is awesome, isn't it? So let's start making this site actually functional. We're going to need some menus and we're going to need pages. And in order to make those menus, we need the pages first. So let's see what kind of pages we have. On the back end, if we go to pages and we click all the pages, we'll see what we have so far. And WooCommerce for us created the cart, checkout, my account, shop, and wish list pages. The sample page comes with WordPress by default. We can trash that very soon. And after we get some pages, we will. And the Ninja Forms preview page, well, leave that alone because that's for Ninja Forms, which is a contact form type thing. And we'll get to that in a minute as well. Now, let's create some pages of our own. Let's create a contact page, an FAQ page, terms and conditions page, blog page, and a home page. All of these for now are going to be blank, and we'll fill in the content later. Simply, let's create new. Let's disable distraction-free writing. Let's create a home page. Contact page. FAQ page, which will serve as our disclaimer and terms and conditions page for now, and a blog page. Once those are published, let's check out all our pages to make sure we have everything ready. Great. Now, since we have the pages, let's start making some menus. So for menus, we go to Appearance, Menus. Here, we'll want to create at least 2 menus. The 2 that we really want are a main menu, and the name doesn't matter. This is just for your reference. I always like to call mine main menu, and another menu I want to call top bar menu. As you can see, these are already pre-filled in for me because I create these a lot. So what do we want in the top bar menu and the main menu? Well, let's start with the main menu. On our store site, we have a menu where we have the search on the left, a shop by with drop-downs, and I'll show you that later, a custom page, and then the basic stuff, the about, blog, contact is all in the top right. So let's set up something similar. And since we don't have all these other pages for now, we're going to fill these in with blank links just so we have something to work with visually. The main menu had a shop page, so we're going to add that to the menu, and custom links. Since we don't have anything for now, I'm going to put this in here just for now, so don't worry about it. So let's say, let's shop by categories for now, and let's make a link about our deals. Sure, that sounds great. So our custom links, they go nowhere for now. Now we have to set where these menus are. In this case, the main menu and then main mobile menu. And by the way, just so you know, this means that you can have a separate different menu for mobile users, which means that you can put all your links here just for the mobile one. In our case, we're using the same menu for both the main menu, regular one, and the one for small smartphones. Now let's configure the top bar menu where the extra links go. So there, we're going to have the blog, FAQ, contact, and the wish list in our case. Sweet. This one, then we want to set the top bar menu, which is going to go into the top right. And let's see how this looks. Awesome. Our stuff is finally starting to come together, isn't it? It's pretty cool. So we have our menu on the top right, our stuff here on the top left, and here in the top left, let's add some handy text to, since let's say we're an e-commerce store version of a retail store, let's add a call us at so-and-so number. To do that, I'm going to go back here into the theme options, into the header, scroll all the way down to the top bar, top left, call us at, and your number, in our case 877-413-3333, 9613. Click save. And let's check it out. Awesome. Now we're getting somewhere, aren't we? Now we want to set this homepage to the actual homepage we created. This is done in the regular WordPress settings. So settings and reading. I'm going to select the static page, which means a very specific page we want the information to be pulled from. For the front page, we're going to pick up the page we called home. And for posts, we're going to use the page we called blog. Click save. And then if we reload, we'll get our generic page, which has absolutely nothing on it, no sidebar. But since there's a home page, we don't want people commenting on the home page. So we're going to disable the comments on this page and a lot of other pages as well to make sure nobody can mess things up. To do that, we're going to click on Edit Page. Now on the top right, you can see something called Screen Options. Because if we were to scroll down, well, we can't scroll anymore. There's no way to disable it. But if we click on Screen Options, we can click on Comments and Discussion. Close this. We can see what are the current comments and do we allow discussions? Well, I don't want comments on the home page. Click Update. And that gets rid of that. But we also don't want this big home button, right? We want actual useful content. So going back to the edit page, we want to change the template in Flatsome, and there are lots and lots of templates. In this case, we want to change it to still be the default template, nothing special, but with no title. Great, now we have no title, and this is just going to be the content here. But you may be wondering, what are other templates? And this is a good time to pause and go through the templates. The templates are, the default template is just whatever it is. It's default stuff. Blank landing page gives you pretty much a blank page, nothing special. You'll want to only use this pretty much for sales pages. For now, and our uses here as an e-commerce store, we're not going to use that, so we'll play around with it later. The featured items 3 and 4 column are basically when you're using this special featured items feature. This is not featured products. That's something different. This is featured items. This is more or less its own post type. And think of it like a very special blog post, which has a mix of features between a page and a post that you can put specifically in very specific places and promote those special things. That's what that is for. Full width, as it says, you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, this is full width. Well, no, not really. And our demo, neither is this full width. This looks like it's full width, but our content is right here. Full width would mean it's all the way to the left, all the way to the right. That's what full width means. Full width with transparent header, blank header, boxed header, parallax title, etc., etc. You can play with all those. Parallax, if you don't know, is when the image, when you're scrolling down a website, the image scrolls at a different speed than what you're scrolling. So it kind of looks like the image is moving. You can have the sidebar on the left versus a default, where the sidebar is on the right. It can be the My Account page if you're creating a unique My Account page versus what the default stuff is. A unique checkout page. If you want to have a focused checkout page, which is just the checkout stuff, nothing else, so you don't want to distract anybody. That's what that is. The right sidebar specifically, or you can have a vertical sub-navigation. Don't worry about that one. So those are the default templates that you can play with. Generally, what you want to play with, at least on a general e-commerce store, you want to stick with default template, center title, no title, left sidebar, or right sidebar. That's what you're generally going to want to play with. If you want to have some special things going on, probably you want to play with full width, but that's about it to get you going. Where do we go from here? Well, first, let's disable comments on the other pages, because generally you don't want comments on pages, you want comments on your post. So all we're going to do is we're going to bulk disable comments on all these pages. So we select all, bulk edit, click apply, and I'm going to move here to comments, not allow, and then click update. This disables comments on all the pages, which is what we're looking for. From here, let's go back actually to the front page, home page, and start adding some content. What content? We're going to base this off of our store page, which looks something like this. We're not going to have this top bar thing. We're going to focus on the banner, because the banner is what's going to get people to take action. Below the banner, we're going to put some content and some products. And obviously, to add some products, we need some products with some product images And same thing for the banner. What images are we going to use? Well, hopefully for your products and for your store e-commerce stuff, you already have some images ready. If not, you're going to have to go get some. All the images we have here actually are taken by us or by professional photographers to make sure it works into our styles. For the use case of this, we're going to use some free photography we find online, free as in legally free, and we're going to go from there to add these as our banner images, something to entice somebody to click and take action at the top over here. So in order to do that, I have to introduce you into the Flatsome Page Builder. The Flatsome Page Builder is yet another one of the reasons why I love the Flatsome theme. It's their own home-built page builder instead of using one of those proprietary ones, and I think it works a lot better, especially for these guys, to get things working as super simple as possible and to give you an absolutely great experience to build something visually and to really know what's going on. The page builder works by simply going from editor to page builder, and if you don't see it here, you'll have to go to the appearance theme options and enable it there. But in general, it's enabled by default, and here what we see is we can add stuff to the top or the bottom. So if we had content in here, we could add it above it or below it. And for now, since we're starting, it doesn't matter. We're just going to click. And in order to style things nicely, let's do this properly. Each piece of content should be in its own row and column. It just makes logical sense, at least to me. So I always have stuff in its own row. And we're going to start off with adding a full width row. Full width meaning the full width of the available space. In here, that's where we're going to add our banner. But not just a banner. We want a banner grid. I created a whole video just about this, and especially the coaching students, they have a whole bunch of advanced videos about banners and banner grids. But in general, instead of clicking banners, we click element. Element being one of the special little cool things you can add. That's a very special feature. In this case, we want a UX banner grid. We click that, and this allows us to add a banner grid. Banner grid being one of these things. So we want something like this, which would be big, thin, small, small. So to get that, we mouse over the banner grid, the white one here. We click edit. Now we select this one. Because here we can select the type of grid style. We can select how tall it's going to be, and if there's going to be padding between these items. For now, I'm going to leave this as default, and we want this one. This is grid 1. And you can use any of these other pre-built styles or build your own if you don't use one of these styles. Here we are going to use a pre-built style. So we select the first one, click save. So now, as you remember, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 banners that we have to add. Big, thin, and then small and small. So let's add a, click over here on the bottom, click banner. So let's add a big one. What style looks good? Well, let's add something. This one looks great. And then if you remember, now we can add stuff a lot in here, but we need to add yet 3 more banners into the UX banner grid. So let's add another banner. This one was thin. So for this thin one, let's have something like this, and then a small one and a small one. So banner and a small one, since none of these are quote unquote small, these are going to be a little bit squished. So let's add, since we want to keep things consistent, let's add one with just a button and one with yet just another button. Where's the button? There's a button. So let's update and let's see what we got here. I'm going to click preview. Sweet. So we have our image here, or our supposed image, which we haven't put in here yet. Thin, small, small. Obviously, as you can see, the content just barely fits in here, and we need images. So let's add some images. And thankfully, this is one of the great things they've fixed in the latest Flatsome version, because previously it was a little bit wrong. We can add images super easily now. So here we can change the content. As you can see, here's where it changes that. We're not going to get there yet, but let's add some images. What images? As I said, we're going to pick some generic free images off the internet, and we're going to work with those for this demo. The issue that I was talking about quickly, by the way, was this didn't bring up the image media selector before. Now it does, so it's super easy to upload and install images. I've gone ahead and added a whole bunch of images, mostly my own, and these ones, especially the ones I'm going to use for the main ones, were taken by our good friends at wojoimage.com. There's some really great photographers. So for this big one, I want to use this one because it's like, hey, I'm positive, I'm professional. So that's what we're going to use. So that one. Great. Click save. And now let's see how this looks. Great. Great. Working great so far. Now we need a thin one to work with. So that's the second one. Let's pick a really handy dandy image. Nice thin one. Well, let's see, what can we use? Let's use a cute puppy. Obviously, you're going to have your own images and you're going to have your own styles. So pick images accordingly to what you're actually going to use. For this next stuff, I'm actually going to create and use a light one at the top and a darker one at the bottom to create a nice little interesting effect. So let's click preview. So this is how this looks right now. They have an image of me, they have my puppy, they have an awesome text over here, and a big fuzzy cat. Love those things. So this is really hard to read. Let's fix that. Before we jump into editing, there's something I have to let you know about a bug in Flatsome Page Builder. It's annoying, but it's easy to work around. Since we clicked preview, wanted to edit these settings, so let me show you. We click preview a few times just in case. So this is how our page looks. Now, if we try clicking edit here, where'd our image go? All the settings are gone, so it's a bit annoying. To go around that, we simply click update, and then we can properly go ahead and change our settings. And if you can't update for whatever reason, you don't want to publish this live yet, what you can do to go around it is duplicate the parent item and delete the bad one and work on the duplicated new good one. I know it's a little bit annoying. So let's jump actually straight in. I'm going to click edit on this first banner. I'm going to click layout. And this is where we're going to add a background color to the text box and text color stuff. So first, text box position. Well, let's have it right in the center bottom. Text box background. Let's have it something like that. Oops. Nice dark black. Great. Oops. There we go. Nice dark black. Padding. Let's add a little bit of padding. Text align. Let's center align the text. We don't want any animation here. Text color. Let's make it light text. Let's click preview. All right. A little bit of padding going. We can make this wider if we want to, but we're going to work with this for now. So we're going to want to get rid of this annoying text up here. We don't need it. All we want is some buttons to click on. But before we do that, let's change the other styles so they're also easy to read and work with. So the second one, edit. As you can see, our stuff isn't here, so we're going to click update. I'm going to do similar things with the other ones. Click edit, layout. Make this one also dark-ish. Yeah, it's a good color. Padding, this one we're not going to add any extra padding. Position, let's center bottom again. Let's text align center as well. Box width, let's make this one actually 80%. Text color, also light. Padding, none. And actually, while we're at it, go back to the first one, let's make it a little bit easier to use and see. Let's change that to 80%. This top one was a light one. So let's give this one a darkish background as well. Center top, just for fun. 80%, I like to have a little bit more space as you noticed. Click save. And then the bottom one was a bit dark. So this one, we're actually going to go reverse. Going to have it be a little bit light. Let's make it lightly pink as well. 80%. And when you want to use dark text on this lighter background, let's make it even wider. There we go. text align, center, position, and let's have this one on the bottom. Click save, and let's preview. Awesome, going well so far. But again, you might notice too much stuff is taken up. So we gotta make all of these smaller except for this one, which seems to work well. Though we can also possibly move this one to the top to see what's going on. So let's do that. Let's update first. The third one, let's change that to layout at the text box position. Oops, not that one. The second one. Layout, text center, top. And what else do we need to change? We need to, oh, that actually works out. All right. So now let's fix some content. So we want to get rid of this. It's useless. Do we want a big text? Yeah, we do. So I'm going to get rid of just the H4, keeping the H1, the header item. So let's see, what's a good line that we can say? Let's see, specials. And let's give that two buttons. Oops. So let's say, and that's another thing I kind of don't like about the visual editor. It's kind of hard to edit text sometimes. So say for business, and this other one, consumers. Great, those are our two buttons. That's going to be here, and it's going to be smaller. This one is, let's see, second one. Oops. The text, news for 2015. Oops. Latest products. And shop now, sure, that sounds good enough for now. And then we have this one, which we really need to shrink. All right. So we can get rid of that one and keep the smaller text. So let's get rid of that big stuff. Don't want it to be super big. Just want regular styling. There we go. So let's check out our 2015 spring deals. Go to shop now, edit this text. This one, way too big, barely can see anything. So we're pretty much actually going to get rid of everything except the now 19, which we're going to set to podcast. Listen now. So let's check it out and then update just in case. Awesome stuff. It's a little bit small, so we can fix that a little bit later. Somebody can click on this podcast button, get to our podcast, see our latest products, see our specials for business and consumers, and shop now. So that is actually how we created our store site. Of course, we have different items. We have a big banner with big text. We need to fix the colors just a little bit, but that was it. We have two buttons. Instead of next to each other, they're on top of each other, which there is a pre-made style for that, using some big text of what can happen. We have text up the top, nice and cursive, because it looks cute with what we have here, and a button. We have simple photography that works for stuff for gentlemen here and stuff to give away. That's what that is. If you have good photography, your banners will work. And if you noticed, most modern pages, that's what they have up top. Some banner, something up top to intrigue you, to get you going, and to get you to click more and work through the site. And you think that we're the only ones? Well, let's check out Amazon. Amazon does the exact same things, except instead of using a banner grid, they're using a simple slider. So it's nothing special. They're using an image. Of course, they're using better text. This is all one big image instead of image and text on top of that. That's all it is. It's just a banner up top to get you to do something. And then just like we're going to do, we're going to have products below. We're not going to have a sidebar on our homepage though. So now we have this handy dandy little banner grid. We have to actually make these clickable to go somewhere. The podcast one, we're actually going to link to the Our Deals page, which we have to still create. The shop is going to go to the shop page. So is this one. And these two are going to go to separate categories. But we don't have those, so we can't really link all this. Well, we can at least link the shop one. So let's create the deals page / podcast page and the categories and our products. Creating an Our Deals page is very simple. We just create a deals page. Let's give it a center title. Now let's start linking things to that. So we're going to go to Appearance, Menus. We're going to remove this custom link we had and replace it with the actual deals. And we call it Our Deals. So let's rename that. Click Save. Go here. Great. We have a page that actually goes to Our Deals, and there's nothing on it. And as we just created this page, and as you saw, the comments are enabled. So let's disable that. All we did was mouse over Deals, click on somewhere near it, click Quick Edit, declick Allow Comments, and click Update. So now if we go back to that page, we reload, that stuff is gone. That's good. And back home, we want to make this link go to the Deals page. So since we're here, we can click on Edit Page, go to the fourth one, click to edit the content. And this, we just click here simply. As you can see, it already has a link. So we just simply have to click it again. And what link? Currently goes to nothing. We want it to go to the Deals page. That's the URL. I want to click Save. Then Update. Now, before we get further, we have to change something very, very important. We have to change the permalinks. Permalinks are what set how the website is going to work and look. By default on my server, things are set so that they look nice and pretty, such as this. In this case, it's set as this complicated thing. But to make it super, super duper simple, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have it generally on default. You don't want that. You want something such as this, or if you're going to use a custom structure, which we usually use, something like that. That's for your blog stuff. You want to use the custom structure or just the post name. The optional stuff, and I'll get through this later, and especially in another video, this is where you can set attributes for categories and for your WooCommerce stuff. What stuff would you want to replace this stuff before your product name? For example, this is the default style of products. Many of my clients use something like this, or they play around if they have one specific type of product, they put it specific type of URL they want to use, they put out here. This is something that a lot of people generally use, shop, and the category type, and then this. Whichever one really honestly works for you to see a very specific product. A lot of people also actually use just product and the name. So pick whichever one you want. In this case, we're going to use product, sample product, and then just click Save. And we're going to go with this. Now, of course, we actually want to add products and categories so we can actually click on stuff, buy stuff, and get money, which is good for everybody, of course. So since we can't click on anything, it'll go nowhere at the moment. We still have to link these to the shop, but there's no point of linking them since shop has absolutely nothing. So if we click on shop, nothing. So we want to add products first. And thankfully, adding products in WooCommerce is very, very simple. Adding products, all you have to do is either up top, go to New, Product, or on the left side, Products, and Add Product. Pretty simple. Here, we can use the page builder to build the content, the description of the product. In this case, I'm actually not going to do that because there's no need to do that just yet. So I'm going to give it a title. So, my awesome t-shirt. And we need to give it a category. Since, as we said, this is a t-shirt, let's give it the clothing category. And let's give it the t-shirt category. But since t-shirts are types of clothing, I'm going to set the parent category of t-shirts to be clothing. Great, and now we want to give it some tags. So let's see, give it a t-shirt tag, clothing, men's clothing. Awesome. We want to give this product an image. Definitely give all your products images. And since we want a t-shirt that we're selling, let's put this awesome image as our featured image. And now we need to add content. This is our product description. Generally, you want to make this a bit longer. If you want to add extra images, you don't put them here. You want to add extra images to the product gallery. Product gallery. So let's add these images. We can, if we simply single click, it'll select one, kind of just like on your regular computer. So let's command click on Mac, control click on Windows to select multiple images, add to gallery. And these are our alternative images that we can look through. If you want to add a video, by the way, this is where you'll want to add the video. Now here we can set the SKU, the price. So my awesome t-shirt costs $100. In this case, this says euro, and we'll fix that in a minute, and I'll show you how that works. And this is a simple product. We also have variable products, group products, and others, which we'll go through a little bit later. The virtual product means that if somebody buys it, that you don't ship it out. It's like an ebook. Downloadable, well, it would be, if it were an ebook, it would be virtual and downloadable. But a virtual product can be something as an hour block of consulting time, something like that. And if you're managing inventory, this can be done through here. You can click Enable Stock. And since we only have one of this super awesome shirt, because that shirt actually is a custom-made shirt, there's only one of those. I don't allow it to be back-ordered, and it is in stock. Now, shipping. This is super duper important, which a lot of people forget if you're shipping products. You have to get this completely right. So how much does this t-shirt weigh in kilograms? This one, let's just say 0.2. I don't really know, I'm making up a number. And the dimensions. Now here it says length, width, and height in dimensions form. What this should be, just so you know, is yes, it can be the size of the product, but in case of a t-shirt, probably the size of the packaging this t-shirt is going to go into. That way, the computer and the system know exactly how to calculate the shipping costs once it goes forward. In shipping class, don't worry about that yet. Linked products are your fun things such as upsells and cross-sells. As this is our first product, we don't have anything to cross-sell or upsell, so we're leaving that alone. And attributes can be things such as colors, when you have variations, colors, sizes, patterns, a whole lot of different things. Advanced, not much here, you can leave this one alone. And extras, this one's a fun little thing in Flatsome. It allows you to add a new bubble. Is this a new product? Yes, it is. And we can add a custom tab. So instead of just having the descriptions and the reviews tabs, we can have a videos tab. We can have a related products tab, stuff like that. So I'm not actually going to add that. I'm going to go back to general, make sure it's $100. It's a brand new product, so let's also give it a sale price of $97 to entice people to buy. I'm going to click publish. Sweet. We want to scroll down though and notice something. There's a product short description and there's this regular description here, which wasn't saved. This is our awesome description. Let's update. There we go. And let's view our awesome product. Great. It's for sale. It's brand new. It's for sale for $97. Here are our images. And yes, by the way, we can actually start selling this product right now. This is pretty darn cool if you ask me. And this is our description. And you might be wondering, well, there's a description. What about the short description? The short description is what goes over here, above the add to cart, below the title and the name. So if we have our awesome long description, let's say, just to differentiate these two, let's put some basic info here. This is, if you go on Amazon and you look on products, the stuff near the top that briefly tells you what it's about, gives you the sizes, maybe some quick options. That's what goes here. So I know that's not really a t-shirt, but go with me here. Colors, custom, awesomeness. That's our short description. Let me show you where that one goes. Go back to our product, refresh. See, there's our short description, which generally should and is different than the long description. Additional info here is like the size, the weights, and all those things. And the reviews. This one currently doesn't have reviews. And remember that color we set? Here's our color for the ratings. It's a nice little star color. Pretty handy. Well, how does somebody check out and go through this whole system? Well, they click add to cart and they can check out. But as you noticed, this is the wrong currency, so let's change that. Changing the currency and a whole lot of other things is done in the Woo theme settings. And as I promised you, this is all going to be in under an hour. So let me show you how it's done. The general settings, if you're in the UK, well, leave that UK. Most of us, probably not. In the USA, we got to say where we are. I happen to be in Chicago, Illinois, and I am selling to all the countries possible. Default address, geolocation address, no address. Well, that's the default address for the customer when they put stuff in is their stuff. I don't want to cite text. And the currency, well, since we're in the USA, I want to use the US dollar. The currency symbol is going to be left or right, depending, how you write your money. That's fine. I like the money symbol right next to the money. 1000 separator, you can change all that here. Click save, new. Check this out. Sweet. Already have it in dollars, already working super well. Now, all that's left is to add tax, because of course we're shipping a physical product. So yes, I have to add tax, and everything is taxable based on the customer's shipping address, not the billing address, which is at least how stuff works here in the USA. And you can, by the way, enter the prices inclusive or exclusive of tax. Generally in the USA and most things exclusive of tax, meaning the price you enter is not the one that has tax in it. So based on their shipping address, I don't allow rounding. Click save. Now I have to set the standard rates for tax. Here in Illinois, that is approximately 9.5%. It varies between what product you're buying and who you are. But the US code is US. The state code is Illinois, but I'm selling to everywhere in the United States, and I'm going to be charging everybody the same tax rate. What doesn't matter which US state they're in. I'm going to say that's 9.5% for everybody in any city, in any zip code, in any state in the USA. But everywhere else in the world, I'm going to charge 10%. Why? Just because in this example. And the tax does include the cost of shipping. So we click save. And now we have almost everything set up except shipping. Shipping is handled by default by not too many things. We have flat rate, which is not useful. Shipping, free shipping, which some people like if you have a coupon. I generally don't enable free shipping. But now for this, we're going to need a few plugins. Depending what you want to ship with, you can use FedEx, UPS, DHL if you're in other countries. And those you can get as Woo themes and WooCommerce extensions and plugins. So I'm going to install the USPS plugin and show you how that one works. So I've gone ahead and installed the USPS plugin. So I'm going to click that as the default one, click save. And then I'm going to jump into the settings for USPS because I need to quickly edit it and set some settings to actually enable it and use it. One, we of course enable it. And where are we shipping from? So 60653. We're shipping to all countries. If you have a USPS ID, you can have some corporate rates going. You can enter that here. And you can use online rates or offline rates. Online rates generally being a little bit cheaper, and you can pass that savings along to your customers. And I don't like using flat box rate, so we need to use the standard services for USPS. And you can enable or disable all of these things. First class, I usually don't use those. Global Express Guarantee, sure. Priority Mail, I like Priority Mail. We don't need those. Priority Mail Express. Sweet. All right. This seems to be working rather well. Click Save Changes. And just in case, if you want to use the standard stuff, you can also use your own boxes And if you use your own boxes, that's not the priority mail or the flat rate boxes, you do have to enter your own sizes. This is why I was telling you it's very, very important that you have this weights and sizes correct, because if you add your own boxes and enable them, you do have to get these sizes. This is in inches, by the way. So let's say 10 inches by 10 inches by 10 inches. So 9 by 9 by 9. And inside, and it can hold, let's say, up to 10 pounds. Oops, box weight 0, and can hold up to 10 pounds. Well, your stuff is going to have to fit in here, and the system has to figure out how to make it fit in here, which means you have to have all these numbers correct, and you have to know how you're going to be shipping these things. If you don't, you can leave this off and it'll kind of figure it out for you and make the best guess, which means it won't give you the best possible answer, just the best guess. Or you can use the flat rate. I personally don't use flat rate. I have everything calculated out. So that's me. But that's how you set taxes, shipping, and now you are officially ready to sell. So if I, as a customer, click add to cart, it's added, view, and this is our awesome cart page. From here, you can continue on to actually shop and purchase already, since we have everything set up. And this site is technically live. You can be shopping here. And that's pretty darn cool. So in almost an hour and 2 minutes now, we got a page up and running. Now, I know I didn't get to everything just yet, because I promised you in getting up and running in under an hour, and we have. In under an hour, you'll pretty much have a site that's functional. It won't be the best site in the world in under an hour, but it'll be very, very functional, and you can start adding your products from there. Now, in the next video and in the advanced course, that's where we go over how to set all this up in very minute detail. And specifically, the next free video, we're going to go over how to add some of the more interesting details. Then yes, they are paid plugins, such as how to add extra tabs, product add-ons, subscriptions, and how those things work. But for now, you have a functional site. You can start selling, and all you have to do is just keep adding products. So if you enjoyed this free tutorial, check out my advanced course where I go over more things like this, offer personalized coaching, there are more advanced videos that go in greater detail, more in depth, and cover a more breadth of topics that, well, I can't really cover in the free course. So check it out. And the best part is, well, the two best things is that you get personalized support, meaning you get me to help you day in, day out build your website. You can ask questions, I'll answer as best I can, help you with code and all those fun things. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if it's not working out for you, hey, there's no real risk.